and welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
Hello, sisters. How are you?
Hello.
Good.
Good. That's good
Hello?
to hear.
That was a question, and you answered hello, Riley.
How are you? Hello.
That's fine. It's early for Riley.
It is. It's a Sunday. It's like 12:45.
She generally wouldn't be awake for another hour. So it's hard for her to be functioning at this time of the day.
I'm in summer mode already. Got 2 weeks of school left. Got my summer brain turned on, school brain turned off.
That's not great for school performance.
School's over, man. It's time to ride the waves and soak up the rays.
Whoa. Did you have that planned?
No, it just happened.
That was very good.
If you're going to be soaking up those rays, please wear your sunscreen.
It's summer, man.
Skin protection is no laughing matter, Riley.
It's summer.
I had a disturbing experience last night.
Tell us about it.
Justin and Charlie and I went over to Mom and Dad and Riley's house for dinner, and we got Olive Garden, of course, the OG. And I had finished all of my shrimp scampi. I'd finished all my shrimp and vegetables.
I do appreciate you got shrimp scampi.
I did. It's very good, and I have asparagus in it that's actually really well cooked.
It is.
So, it really is. And I didn't eat all of the pasta because there's a lot of pasta. That's the thing about Olive Garden. They give you a lot of pasta there.
They do.
And sometimes you just can't fill your belly with that many noodles.
Right.
And so I didn't finish all my noodles, but there were shrimp tails in there, and I'd eaten all the other things out of it. So who wants this? I put it in the garbage can. And then about 20 minutes later, Dad is standing there holding a container of noodles, and he's asking everyone if anyone wants it. And he looks at me and says, "Don't you want this? Look at all these noodles." And I'm like, "Whose is that?" And he goes, "Wasn't this yours?" Well, no, because I put mine in the garbage can. And that is something you're holding in your hand and offering for people to eat. So clearly that's not that. And then I look closer and no, that's my plate. And of course at that point I have to say, "Dad, did you get my food out of the garbage can?"
Out of the garbage can.
And try to feed it back to me.
And the answer was yes.
Yes, he did.
Garbage can can be thought of as an exterior storage facility for food in this case.
It was in there kind of sideways. So and there was no lid on it. So what he would have had to do was scrape it against the side of the garbage can as he lifted it to keep the noodles from falling out. And then try to feed it to his child.
How fresh was that garbage bag, though? Was that a new bag? That's okay. There's some wiggle room there.
I'd say a day-old bag.
Yeah.
No.
The best part was Sydney and Justin left shortly after, and Dad goes back inside, and we're all just talking, and all of a sudden he bursts out laughing about 20 minutes later. So what's so funny, Dad? And he said, "I just can't figure out why I tried to give Sydney food that was out in the garbage."
Oh, no. Well, at least he recognized that it was insane. At least that eventually happened.
I mean, if he was trying to teach me a lesson, that's fine. There were some angel hair pasta noodles left in that.
There were many a
container.
noodle left in that container.
I could have saved them. That's fair. Perhaps I was being wasteful. You may criticize me for that. And if he was trying to teach me a lesson, and that was how that conversation had ended, great. But he wasn't. He just genuinely thought, well, maybe somebody wants to eat these trash noodles.
I have to question, just because I've never had Olive Garden delivered to my abode. I feel like the best thing about an Olive Garden is the never-ending breadsticks. How enjoyable can that meal be without those delightful warm breadsticks every 5 to 10 minutes?
That's the best part about ordering food with the Smurl family. You get so many breadsticks. It's like they're never ending.
They sent us many bags of breadsticks.
We had 4 bags of breadsticks to start out with because I guess you get so many with every meal you order, and Justin secretly ordered extra. So by the end of the night, we were left with 1/2 of a bag of breadsticks and 2 full bags of breadsticks. And everyone's just saying, what do we do with all these breadsticks? And of course, this morning when I woke up, about 10 minutes before I came down here to do this, Dad said, do you want some warmed up breadsticks for breakfast?
That sounds great. But I feel like that's probably because there are lots of people that have complained in the past. Like, when I come to your restaurant, I get like 30 of these. You sent 5 with my food. I need more breadsticks. They probably just fill bags. Just send them all the breadsticks. Whatever. Just we don't want that phone call.
Endless should be endless. No matter where I am.
I want your delivery man to sit outside in my driveway with warm bags of breadsticks, and every time I ring a bell, I want him to give me more breadsticks.
Breadsticks, please. I think it's fair to say that when it comes to food, there's more issues than that. Dad also this weekend purchased an entire dozen chocolate cake donuts for himself.
I saw him walk in with a box of donuts, and I thought, wow, how nice. He got them for us Friday night. Maybe he was thinking we could have some Saturday and have some Sunday. And no, he got a whole box of 12 that are just the kind that he liked.
And he ate 6. And these are, okay, this is from Jolly Pirate Donuts, which is a local donut
which we have
establishment.
said many times before, if you're in Huntington, get them from Jolly Pirate because they're very
they're
good.
delicious donuts, but they're fairly large. I mean, they're regular donut sized. They're not like little donuts.
They're big donuts.
Big, thick chocolate cake, frosted.
Yeah.
Ugh, donuts. 6 of them for breakfast. So this morning, to save him from himself, Mom threw 2 of his donuts over the hill. Because she was afraid if she put them in the trash can, he'd dig them back out.
I just want to know the continued life of those 2 donuts. They go on some wild forest adventure. Do they meet a nice raccoon?
Did deer eat donuts?
Those probably do. Our deer probably do.
Yeah, man, you're going to get tons of wild animals just like, you think Tommy's getting donuts this weekend?
Just hanging outside the fence waiting.
I know,
hope so.
I know we're spending a lot of time laughing at our dad, but I love Dad.
Well, we love Dad too. Are you trying to get something?
To this? I love you, Dad.
Are you just trying to? You want something? Riley just wants something.
I just want my kind of donuts.
See, I thought that's where that was leading. Was I love donuts? Then you said Dad. It took a sweet turn.
We love Dad too. We just want him to eat better, so he'll be around forever.
Eat 4 less donuts in any general situation. However many, just eat 4 less.
Exactly. There's our tip, Dad. Why don't we talk more about food?
Great transition, Sid.
Speaking of breakfast food, as a teenager, I never understood the importance of breakfast. I very rarely ate it.
I'm going to make a very unpopular opinion statement right here. I hate breakfast food.
What?
Most breakfast foods I hate.
I'm actually going to have to, with the exception of bacon, I'm kind of with you.
Yeah, bacon is fine.
I know.
Like, I could eat maybe like a bagel or some bacon, but thinking about like sitting down and having a whole breakfast meal with several different items or some sort of like large meal for breakfast, no thank you. I don't enjoy.
Oh man, see, I like breakfast for dinner was like the most brilliant, amazing, exciting concept to me, like as a teenager, as a child. Like I love breakfast food, and then the idea of getting to eat it as like a real meal at the end of the day is like the ultimate reward.
I mean, I think that's a popular opinion. I think most people would agree with you though, Tay, because Justin loves breakfast food. Most people I know love breakfast food.
It's the wonderful mashup of salty and sweet. You could have waffles chilling on your plate right next to sausage. You could have like pancakes, and you can also have bacon. Like you could have everything.
I get it. I understand, and I think I should like it more. And like I like isolated, like I like runny eggs, but I like them on things like hamburgers. Or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My
like,
problem is on the weekdays.
Over some nachos. That would be good.
On the weekdays during the school year, I wake up so early and I get ready. I don't have time to eat like a full sit down breakfast, so I usually just don't eat anything except like drink some coffee. And on the weekends, I wake up so late, it's lunchtime by the time I wake up. So I eat lunch food for breakfast. And during the summer, it's like every day is a weekend. And I'm always waking up at noon.
But you really should eat breakfast. I mean, that's one thing. I look back and think of all the days that, I mean, especially once I was a teenager and I had a little bit more control over, like, because Mom and Dad kind of said, like, listen, this is when you need to be at school. You decide when you get up. You know,
Right.
They didn't dictate, like, you need to get up this early. It was, you got to be there on time. You decide how early you get up to get ready and get there. And so for me, it was like the exact, like, the smallest amount of time between getting out of bed and walking in when the bell rang. I mean, like, that was what I was trying to do. I didn't care. I didn't need time to unwind or whatever. I wanted to, like, eke every little second of sleep out of the morning that I could. So I definitely didn't make time for breakfast.
See, I need time to wake up and make my first cup of coffee and relax for a minute, put on my clothes. I wake up an hour and 20 minutes before I leave for school.
Oh my gosh.
Man. See, I remember the cartoons were really good early. Like that would get me out of bed. There was a fairly good block on Cartoon Network, like from like the 5:30 to like the 7:30 block. They'd like replay the Sailor Moon from the previous day. Like that was the main driving force in me. I was a fairly early riser. Like I would wake up, but it was all cartoon based.
I couldn't do that, guys. It was, for me, it was very much like 20 to 30 minutes before I needed to be there. I could get up and, I mean, because I would shower the night before, so it was just literally like, you know, untangle my hair and throw clothes on. I tried to set my clothes out the night before so that I could not because I was super organized, just because, like,
You wanted to sleep more?
I could sleep more.
You know what? I found the solution to that. If you just go to sleep in the clothes you want to wear the next day, you're good to go.
That's true.
Yeah. But
I might get some wrinkles.
And with the clothes that, I mean, but I have to wear like business casual to work every day.
She rocks the business cash.
And that's not comfortable for sleeping.
Well, all right.
You know, I don't want to wear dress pants to bed.
I didn't just drop a really smart life hack on you.
If I mean,
Life hack: sleep in your clothes. Never take them off. Never take your clothes off. Life hack.
also, you shouldn't sleep in underwear. So,
What?
you know, it's bad. Let everything breathe.
We are talking about something totally different. I intended on talking about today. I am getting very uncomfortable.
Wait,
We're talking about foods.
Back to breakfast.
But wait, is that a doctor's opinion or is that a personal opinion?
Yeah, it's better not to sleep in underwear. I mean, like, you can wear shorts or something over it. Like, you don't have, unless you don't want to. I mean, you can sleep naked if you want.
Sydney, I thought we were talking about food.
Anyway,
Butts. Now we're talking about butts.
I know that school breakfast existed. I never ate it. I'm aware that it was happening. I remember the super donut. I think we've talked about the super donut.
We have.
a ton about that super donut.
Yeah, and like I remember having that on test mornings. But other than that, I don't know anything about school breakfast because I never ate it. I never ate breakfast as an adult. I regret that, and I try to at least grab a granola bar every morning. Not the healthiest thing I could eat. I eat yogurt when I have the chance.
Now, at my school, they have breakfast you can get. Like,
Yes.
as soon as you get there. I've never been there early enough to get it.
Exactly.
Nor have I ever gotten lunch or breakfast at school. But the one thing I feel like is crazy is they go out of their way to make breakfast available to us. And they lengthened our first period of the day by 12 minutes to give us 12 minutes at the beginning of class to eat our breakfast, where we don't do schoolwork. We just eat our breakfast.
That's good.
Yeah. But then if you're in an AP class at the end of the year, most AP tests that I am taking are morning AP tests that start at 8 o'clock when the school day starts at 10 till 8 o'clock. But you have to be in the test room by 10 till 8 o'clock. And you can't have food or drink in there. So, like this past Friday, I had my AP US History test, and I was in there at 7:50, and I did not leave until 11:45, and was not allowed to eat or drink anything during that entire time.
You should have prioritized breakfast. I told you this, by the way. Recently,
You
I
did.
gave you this piece of advice outside of this show. In real life, I looked at Riley and said, listen, I wish I'd realized when I was younger how important breakfast is. It's a hugely important meal. It gets the brain started. You need to eat breakfast.
But then,
You should have carved up before those tests, like a marathon runner, just a big bowl. You should have eaten that angel hair pasta.
I
That
should
was
have
like,
eaten the regular pasta.
that's
Eat some
brain food. Just like housing breadsticks outside the testing room. 5 more minutes, I'll be in. I'm gonna go. Be ready.
My whole thing with breakfast, and y'all are gonna laugh, But like, if I had time to eat breakfast, I would probably eat it either on my way to school or as soon as I get to school, because I wouldn't have time to before, and it would be way too early to before. But right before I leave for school, I brush my teeth, and I just got that minty fresh feeling, and I don't want to like shove a granola bar in there on top of that, because then it just tastes bad.
I mean, I solve for that now by drinking coffee all morning, so I have coffee breath. Nobody cares about my granola bar breath. That I've completely overridden that with the black coffee that I'm chugging in between patients that I'm seeing.
No, I do get that. I feel like once I brush my teeth, I want to enjoy that like hour or two of like beautiful like menthol breath.
Yeah, because then by the time you get to lunch in a school day, it's already kind of worn off a little bit because it's been like 2 hours, so you don't care to eat.
Eat yogurt while you're putting your makeup on. Brush your teeth right before you leave.
Boom.
Sydney.
Done.
I need 2 hands to do my makeup.
Occasionally take a bite of yogurt in between.
Don't you like have to wait for your face to bake or something at some point? Make that yogurt bake.
Yeah.
Yogurt.
You spray that
break
stuff
and bake.
that sets it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Do that. Mm-hmm. And get some like Greek yogurt with some protein in it.
You know what the crazy thing is about breakfast times at my school is not this year, but last year we had breakfast you could get if you got to school early. So you could get breakfast food. And then right after our first period of the day, we had grab and go where you could go again and get more food, which seems like a bit of an odd thing. And I guess they did it for the kids who weren't there on time to eat breakfast in the mornings. But also they just lengthened our time between classes by 3 minutes. So you just had 10 minutes to get to your next class on the complete other side of school, but also stop and get food.
And if you're a hobbit, that's second breakfast.
You know, Riley,
they're just accommodating hobbits.
When I think of how rarely I like really cared about like eating breakfast, even eating lunch, like when I was your age, like there will come a day where you buy your own food on a regular basis, and suddenly any opportunity to eat for free, it's like Christmas. It's like I will go to an event and see people that I do not want to see just if there's free food. Like that will get me out of bed. Like take advantage of that sweet free food while you can.
It's funny. I know what you're saying, Tay, and I think that was reinforced in me because of like medical school and then residency. All those years where like I was still, in school, and so just whatever free food that was thrown my way, I was like, yeah, I'll come. There's gonna be free food there. Yeah. What is that? There's a lecture. I'm coming to the lecture. Not if it's a farm rep. Not if it's a pharmaceutical representative. You can't buy me. Do you know the cost of a slice of pizza? I have a handout on it anyway. But otherwise, I'm there.
Which I guess is a big difference between when you all were in school and now that I'm in school, because I used to watch, like when I was in like elementary and middle school, those TV shows about teens in high school or middle school, bringing money and like bullies taking their lunch money. And I was like, why did these kids have money at school? What lunch money? I never have lunch money. I never bring money to school because it's all free. Did you all actually have to bring money to school for lunch?
Yeah. If you wanted to buy lunch.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's just like they take, it's a little sketchy. They take your fingerprint when you start school.
But they provide free lunch for everybody, right?
They do provide free lunch. So then when you go through, you just like scan your fingerprint and they're like, all right, we're good to go.
Kids who are getting decent meals perform better. So you should be fed.
No,
whether
I
you
think
can
that's
pay for it or
awesome.
not. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had the experience of bringing lunch money to school.
That is unique because it definitely, I mean, I will say this. I ate the school lunch in middle school some. Mm-hmm. Occasionally I did. And then by high school, I don't know. I just didn't. I think maybe twice ever. Mm-hmm. I never bought the school. I brought my lunch, or I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were going to get food, you definitely had to you could I think you could buy it in like a block, like you could pay for a month of meals or something, mm-hmm. and you have like a card or wasn't there something like that?
Yeah.
Or you could pay as you go. But I didn't eat lunch.
The only day that I ever was concerned with eating school lunch on, and I from other people I've talked to from other parts in the country, this might have been like a almost national thing. I think you know what I'm going to say, Sid. Chicken Nugget Thursdays.
Chicken Nugget Thursday.
Chicken Nugget Thursdays, where you got nuggets that were shaped like Stars or maybe dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Yep, I remember dinosaurs.
Yeah, the cloverleaf.
High school?
Yeah. Oh yeah, cloverleaf
high
roll
school.
and
Yep.
mashed potatoes, and that was that was just a dream. And there's like that comfort of knowing like at this moment, all around the nation, kids like me are eating chicken nuggets. They're making little sandwiches with mashed potato, chicken nugget bread thing.
I'm gonna eat you, Tyrannosaurus Nugget.
You were one of like a collective nugget eating unconscious. It was beautiful.
Because I was, and I remember this, even though I've already said I did when I was in elementary and some in middle, but I didn't eat school lunch, but I was the worst kind of lunch person because I would want to sit next to somebody who did.
So you could steal.
So I could be like, can I have one nug? Can I have one nug? Just one nug. Hey, did you get fries? Can I have a few?
Oh, that's what I was always like, man, I feel like
I was the worst.
I ate fries every day for lunch in high school, but I never bought them. No, my best friend always did. I just housed half of her fries and she let me. That girl is still my friend to this day, and now I understand why.
That's a true friend right there.
Yeah, I used to eat, like, we had that exact meal when I was in elementary school, and I ate school lunch a lot when I was in elementary school, but then we had a big change in our school lunch programs. So they're free now, which is great, but they also changed, like, how there could be no salt in anything we ate, and also, like, there could no longer be meals that just had chicken nuggets and mashed potatoes and roll because it's not necessarily like the healthiest thing for you to eat.
Anytime your whole meal is beige, you know it's a bad day.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
But they have changed the whole lunch program. So now, while it is free, the quality has dropped significantly.
Yeah, I am glad that the meals are healthier. The reason was Jamie Oliver came and made a TV show about how overweight our city is. And then I think he buried a deep fryer in somebody's backyard.
Yeah.
And
He criticized a lot of young school children for eating like chips at lunch or something.
I don't know. He cried several times, and now our food is different. I applaud that our food is different.
Apparently someone in the city didn't know what broccoli was. He like held up a stalk of broccoli and asked them if they knew what it was.
Yeah.
It's a potato.
I don't like the way that this show represented my home.
Yeah.
I will say that. I think that, yes, our school lunch program needed to be improved. I think, yes, there were a lot of changes that needed to be made. I think there was a way to do that without sensationalizing, like, the nutritional problems that can be associated with, living in a more socioeconomically depressed part of the country, which is, let's be honest, what a lot of it's related to.
But I mean, the saddest day of my life was going into elementary school, and we no longer had those big fluffy rolls that you always like had to trade around at the lunch table to get. We had little like whole grain breadsticks that were like the size of like, I don't know, like 2 inches long. Or just like, that's your roll.
All these
now.
kids are like, Jamie Oliver.
I know, because me and all my like little 11-year-old friends like, man, we miss those rolls. You used to have to like prison trade for those. Like, here, I got some candy. I'll give you some candy for like a sticker, and I'll give you a sticker for your roll. Like, it was a whole system.
I have all these erasers shaped like different fruits.
I did.
Back in the day.
I carried around a little.
scented.
I
really.
carried around a little metal container that was High School Musical themed, full of all my shaped erasers, and I would often trade and say, "I will give you my cake scented eraser if you give me your roll." And it was often successful, but it was not successful after they traded out those rolls.
Man. Well, I remember a clip from those shows where they were actually, went the process through whatever it is to make a processed chicken nugget, and to show how horrifying it is. And then afterwards he's like, would you eat these? And the kids are all like, yeah.
Yeah.
What's an issue?
I mean, that's a thing. Like, there are a million problems. A lot of the criticism he was leveling, like, that you could level that criticism at, the way we eat all over our country. Like, it wasn't just the school system, and certainly is not just West Virginia. Like, there's tons of problems with the way that we process food and the things that we eat. And it sounded like it was all connected to, like, we're just too dumb to figure it out. And, like, no.
I will say, though.
We're not, thanks.
We supposedly made all these healthy changes, and it worked in some areas of school lunch. But the one thing we still have every day at lunch is Pizza Line, where you can constantly, every single day, get pizza.
We need to talk about the fatal flaws of the pizza line.
What is? Sorry, the pizza lobby is just really powerful in this country.
We're gonna get into the conspiracy behind the powerful pizza lobby, but before we do that,
Let's check the group message.
let's check the group message real quick. What do we have today?
Today we have a sponsor.
Yes,
We do.
Our sponsor is HelloFresh, who we have told you about before. They're a meal kit delivery service that makes cooking fun, easy, and convenient, and we've all tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was super simple, like tons of fresh, beautiful produce. I did the vegetarian package, and like they were like just awesome vegetable-based meals. I was super happy with it.
Yeah, all the ingredients are really great, and the recipes are good. They're really easy to follow instructions. They don't take a lot of time. They're fun to do at home.
I was even able to do one like whole by myself and made it for me and Mom and Dad, and it was great. And it was delicious and easy.
All by herself. Little baby Riley
All by
made
myself.
food. Even our dad could do it.
Yeah, Dad did it.
No offense, Riley, but that's even more impressive than
No, I
Dad.
know.
Dad could cook something. So they create new delicious recipes every week, so there's always new stuff to try. They, like I said, there's easy to follow instructions. They take about 30 minutes, so not too bad,
that bad
for cooking your meal. And like we've said, everybody can do it, so it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned home cook or if this is the first time you're really trying to do it.
And it's all for less than $10 a meal, which is crazy.
And they're delivered to your doorstep in a special insulated box for free. So
we have a special code for you. Taylor, will you tell us about that special offer?
Yeah, so for $30 off your first week of deliveries, you can visit HelloFresh.com and enter the promo code StillBuffering30. That's StillBuffering30. So that's going to get $30 off your first week. That's a great deal.
That's crazy. $30 off your free deliveries.
So go check it out. HelloFresh.com. Check it out, guys.
Don't eat 6 donuts.
Don't eat 6 donuts, and don't.
Eat HelloFresh.
Let's end the tyranny of the pizza line. Now, I don't understand why there is a standing line where you can eat pizza every day of the week in our high school. And is this, my question is, and I'm sure our listeners will let us know if this is universal.
I do want to know if this is universal, because I've only obviously ever been to schools in Huntington, West Virginia, but every year of my high school experience, there's been a pizza line that it does have different kinds of pizza every day. It is not always just one specific kind of pizza, but there is pizza you can get every day.
Here's what's especially disturbing. I work in a hospital, and our hospital cafeteria has a pizza line.
The shady industry behind the pizza line. Like, what's that?
And this is not a joke. Like, every day you can, if I wanted to, at lunch at work, I could go stand in the pizza line and get pizza and eat pizza at the hospital.
At the hospital
where I work.
Doctors work.
Man.
So the pizza line, why?
I mean, it's delicious. But also, my concern is it's not rectangular pizza that I am receiving in the pizza line.
Oh.
Is that gone?
It's triangular slices of pizza off of a much larger pizza. Regular pizza.
Like regular pizza.
But the rectangular pizza is the best pizza.
So school pizza's gone now?
In my 3 years of high school, I have never seen a rectangular pizza.
Was it designed that way so it would fit perfectly in that slot on the tray? Like,
I hope so.
Maximum nutritional density.
I have to assume. I don't know why else it would be, because that can't be the easiest way to bake it. Like individual frozen blocks of pizza. I don't know. I have to assume it's made for the tray. And you would always get corn with it, which of course is the best accompaniment to pizza.
But you don't even get
the classic Italian side dish to pizza. Corn.
Buttered corn.
But you don't even get that anymore. You get like a little like container of grapes with your pizza.
Well,
I mean,
like it's a play on an Italian meal. It's like wine.
Yeah, are they Sicilian?
Grapes.
Wine for kids. It's grapes.
They're maybe a little too old. 2 days past their expiration date.
Uh-oh.
But I will say, having tasted rectangular pizza and school triangular pizza, nothing will ever match school rectangular pizza.
You have been in New York with me. Please don't make that statement.
I mean between school triangular pizza and school rectangular pizza.
Okay, the shape makes a difference. All right.
Yes.
That's fair. And I will say that the pizza at the hospital isn't great either.
Is it rectangular or triangular?
No, it's triangle. It's like a pizza. It's like there are multiple pizzas, and you can pick up a piece off of one of them.
There's always a pizza line at the hospital.
There's always a pizza line throughout your entire. This is a weird message we're sending to kids. Don't worry, kids. Throughout your entire life, there will always be a pizza line.
Next time I go to the doctor and she asks me about my eating habits, I will say, "No, wait a minute, miss. I am aware of the fact that there is a constant pizza line at this facility."
I'm just glad that I don't have that temptation in my life. Like, I'm kind of sad, but I'm also glad. Like,
But you live in New York, so isn't New York like just one giant pizza line?
they do make you pay for it, though.
It's true.
Oh.
But I feel like everywhere you go, it's like everywhere you look, there's a lot. Saw.
Oh, there used to be like a one. What are those, like, you see them all over New York, like $1 slice, like pizza places, like around the corner from my apartment, and it was just the worst thing to walk by, like to and from school, because I don't even know if pizza could ever taste as good as it smells. Like, for as delicious as pizza is, nothing smells better than pizza. Actually, even now, like the park that I run in, there's a pizza place like across the block. And sometimes I'm downwind, like when there's a strong breeze. My whole running path is, I'm like, oh, this is the worst way to run.
Or as good as pizza looks in cartoons or in comic books. Oh, when Jughead is eating pizza. When my dude Jughead is eating pizza instead of burgers.
I love Juggy.
Whoa, that pizza looks so good.
Or just like pizza commercials where it's like you're really hungry already and you're like, man, what am I going to do for dinner? And then a commercial for like Pizza Hut comes on and they take up the piece of pizza and it's like the cheese stretches down from the rest of the pizza. You got toppings on there.
So we have established
like
now
baked.
why the pizza line exists, because then everybody goes, but pizza's so good and we love it. Let's talk about pizza.
Like, in all these like boards like dedicated to like children eating healthy, like they get to that point in the discussion, they're like, but guys, pizza, right?
I think what we've discovered is that the conspiracy theories about the Illuminati running everything is not true. The Pizza Naughty runs everything to get everyone talking about pizza constantly all the time.
And it's really just all of us. It's just because
everyone.
pizza's great and we all love it.
Yeah.
I will ask this. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, so in elementary school, it was cool to carry a lunchbox with like something cool relevant to the time on it. So like I of course had my New Kids on the Block lunchbox.
Bright orange neon lunchbox.
Exactly.
Do you know I now have that?
Yeah.
I'm very jealous of that.
I stole it from the house. It sits on my shelf, ironically.
I love that. I loved it. I carried my lunch in it often, and I loved it. But that was cool back then, was to have like an actual lunchbox with stuff on it. In middle school, that started to become much less cool. And so I remember a lot of kids would carry like the little coolers, like the little insulated, like soft, squishy coolers. Or like I think I carried that occasionally. Or they would have like the lunch bags. They look like a brown paper bag, but they're really like an insulated bag, cooler bag kind of thing. So like those kind of lunch bags were very popular. And then by high school, what my memory is that you carried a brown paper bag or nothing. I mean,
Wait,
seriously.
By nothing, you just brought your lunch like in your hands. Like, I'm so cool. I'm just holding this fist of ham. I got a piece of bread in the other hand. I'm not gonna put them together. Whatever. I'm a cool teen.
Whatever. I don't even care. I'm just holding this deli turkey like it's like whatever. Like I'm not even. Why are you talking about it?
You all laugh about not carrying any sort of bag, but when I bring my lunch to school every day, I have a special third pocket in my backpack that has no purpose. So I stick my Ziploc baggies of lunch in my third pocket and just pull out the individual Ziploc baggies.
Which, I mean, that's what I ended up, like, I think I started off carrying the brown paper bag, and then, and I am not endorsing this. I had very unhealthy, like I said, breakfast and lunch eating habits, because by the time I was in high school, for most of it, I brought a bag of Cheerios. I started with a yogurt and a bag of Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
No, some days it was just Cheerios. Special days would be Honey Nut, or like really special would be like apple cinnamon. But for the most part, I would like eat on my bag of Cheerios all day, and then if I was feeling really hungry, I would bring a yogurt that day with my Cheerios.
That's not great.
No, it was terrible. It was terrible. I'm not endorsing this. These are terrible eating habits.
Yeah. I bring a very well balanced lunch. I bring an apple, a bag of celery sticks, sometimes carrot sticks, and a granola bar. Boom.
There's a protein problem here.
Is it a high protein granola bar?
Yeah.
Yes, it has protein in it. Explain to me where your protein was in your yogurt and Cheerios.
Hey,
Sydney.
I am admitting that it was not a good choice.
Well, and I don't even think I packed a lunch. I think I just housed my friends' fries. And then in my day, Riley, we had vending machines full of soda and snack foods at school.
Yeah.
And I would.
we can't even have those anymore.
I remember the first, okay, this is crazy. I remember when they put in the soda vending machine in our middle school. This was before you, Tay, before you were there. But they put in the gym, in like the hallway off the gym, they put in a soda machine. And it was like a madhouse. For the next, 6 months, as soon as the bell would ring for lunch, there was a line like stretching around the gym of kids waiting to buy a soda so that they could wait and get a vending machine. It was such a huge deal that you could get soda at school. It was crazy. And there, you could still do that in high school. I mean, at our high school, you could still. And I did that most days to go with my Cheerios. I would go get a diet soda at lunch.
Yeah. Now we have, like we did in elementary school, which shows you just how long we haven't been able to have sodas in school. Since I was in elementary school, we had vending machines that had bottles of flavored water in them. Not even like Gatorade or like a sports drink, just like flavored waters. And we didn't have food vending machines. And in my high school, we have a vending machine where I think you can get water and maybe some flavored waters and Gatorade. And then out of the snack vending machine, there are like 3 different snacks.
That's good though. It was a mess that they put those machines in schools. I don't know why we had unfettered access to sugary soda and like chips and candy bars
and
all
pizza.
Day.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, terrible. It was terrible.
It was terrible. It was terrible that we should not have had I was not, obviously, as we've already mentioned, we were not smart enough to be making healthy food choices.
Wait, I have to ask a question, Riley, because I don't. And Sydney, do you remember this? Because I brought this up with other people, and they're like, "No, that was never a thing." I'm like, "No, this definitely existed." Instead of the milk cartons, I remember in elementary school, the milk came in a clear plastic bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Milk
like
bags.
it was a milk pouch. It was.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Yes, milk used to come in bags.
And if you were
you had to be really careful.
if you had too much force, you might poke your straw all the way through.
Yeah.
Like a Capri Sun?
Well, no, because it was like, I mean, imagine more like a Ziploc bag that's just, except there's no Ziploc on, it's just sealed on all 4 sides, and then it's filled with milk.
Like a malleable bag of milk.
I mean, it's not that thin. It's slightly thicker, but still. And like, pokeable with like a plastic straw. So you would get your plastic straw and just jam it into one side of the bag, but don't go all the way through.
Yeah, it was also really great for spraying at people. Like, they just worked like little fountains, like,
What happened?
I don't know.
What did the school system go through that for a short period they gave their children milk in bags?
I don't, you have to imagine that. I mean, there must have been like a cost saving thing or something, or you could store more. I don't know. I'm sure they had reasons, but if you had to be a teacher when we had milk bags, that must have been your nightmare.
Well, yeah, milk bags sound like my nightmare. Like, that's terrifying.
I think they're still around. I think I've heard this before, that there are still places where milk bags are still like the norm.
Maybe this is wrong, but isn't that how they buy milk in Canada?
There are other countries. Yes, there are lots of places where milk is sold in bags.
Just one
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you may be right. Our Canadian listeners, I'm sure know for sure, but I think you're right about that. I think that they do.
They probably don't just like stick a straw in it, though.
No, not if you're buying like for the whole family. Okay, everybody, we're having this bag of milk for dinner. Everybody you all stick your own straw, and it's adorable, and you share it.
It's like one of those games where you have to keep pulling the straws out to make sure you don't drop all the things off of it. Like, how many straws can you get in before the milk bag explodes?
No, I don't. These were single serve milk bags.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But moving on from school lunches and pizza lines, what did you all do after school for your after school snacks? Because I feel like after school snacks is something that everyone does always.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've talked about some of these foods before. Like when I was younger, I would often want to come home and eat like some pizza rolls or bagel bites or like a Hot Pocket or something like that. Probably because I wasn't actually eating lunch.
Right.
If I hadn't, I didn't mention this. Mom, there was a time period, and Taylor, you may remember this, where Mom actually put those things in our lunch.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, where she would like wrap them, like cook them in the morning, wrap them up in a paper towel, and then wrap them in foil to keep them warm and put them in our lunch.
I remember several times where I would bring like either pepperoni rolls or like a Hot Pocket to school.
yeah, those were like currency for my middle school years. Like she would send me with pizza rolls to school, and like I was the cool kid. Like I got
Exactly.
pizza rolls.
You were the coolest if you had a plastic container or a aluminum foil container of
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls, like,
Lukewarm
look at this
pizza rolls,
packet. But those were things that we would do. When it came to like cooking my own things, I discovered especially when I became more conscious of like, I mean, I don't want to say healthy. It wasn't healthy. It was calories. I became more conscious of calories and things, which does not necessarily equate with healthy eating. I would go buy cans of soup. I would ask Mom and Dad to get me lots of cans of soup, and I would eat a microwavable can of soup. Because you could get ones that were like, the whole can was like 160 calories, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Wow.
healthy snack.
My after school snack is a little bit weird because I leave school every day at noon. And my lunch, which seems early to me for lunch because there are people that are eating it that don't leave at noon, is at 10:37, which seems very early because most even like fast food places are not serving breakfast by that time or serving lunch by that time. But that's my lunch, and usually I'm just eating like my apple and celery and granola bar at that point. But I get home at like 12:15, so I'm pretty much just eating lunch at that point. Like I guess my apple and celery are like a late brunch, and now I'm eating lunch at noon. So I usually just eat like a bag of popcorn or like a salad or occasionally maybe if I'm feeling like I earned it, some pizza rolls or some bagel bites. But then it's like it's not even an after school snack at that point because after school snack is supposed to like hold you till dinner. It's just like a few hours till dinner. It's like 3:30 and you're gonna have dinner at like 6:30. But now you have, I'm eating my after school snack at 12:30. It's like, well, gotta be satisfied till 6:30.
Well, now Taylor, you did the classic. I remember a lot, the ramen.
Oh yeah, and I mean and it wasn't just like I could make it. It was easy, but I was also obsessed with anime, and so that was like to prove my dedication. I just had to eat all of the ramen all the time. Like that was like that was like it was a demonstration of my love as much as it was just I need to eat food.
That was like you were like an early like. It's supposed to be a college thing, but you were an early adopter, like high school.
I was way ahead of the curve.
I know.
I will say I don't know how to cook many things by myself, but ramen is one of the things that I'm always like I can just make ramen, just make that myself, just put that on the stove, but not like our mom thinks you're supposed to make it, which is insane. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but you fill up a large measuring glass full of water, and put it in the microwave and heat it up. And then cook the ramen in it in the microwave. In the microwave.
I mean, I guess you can.
Why?
That's how I thought it was made too. And then one of my friends, like in high school, like was over spending the night, and we were making ramen, and she totally like, "No, you're doing it wrong." I'm like, "I'm doing ramen wrong. I bring shame."
I don't even know if the taste is different because I have had it both ways, and like I won't say that making it in the microwave is significantly worse. But it's just like, it doesn't feel right to me. It feels
and it's not
like morally wrong.
It's not that cumbersome to make on the stove.
Yeah, like you heat up like 2 cups of water and just like stick it in for literally 2 minutes and then take it out.
Yeah, I mean it takes no time. It's quite easy.
Yeah, we endorse ramen on this show.
Now, I like to add corn to my ramen. I think it's very good. I had some corn, frozen corn in there, and I throw in sriracha, and then
just like classic Italian side dish corn, classic ramen add-in.
Sure,
corn.
yeah.
I do. I like corn in my ramen with some sriracha. That's my ideal ramen. Justin throws an egg in with his.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah.
There's so many things
that you can do with ramen.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about ramen.
This episode is now just ramen.
Pizza line and ramen.
But it's essential because when you go to college, then somebody will get you a noodle pot.
What's that?
It's a noodle pot.
Didn't you ever have a noodle pot?
What? Heck is
The thing you plug it into the wall and it boils water really quickly.
Dude,
and you can cook.
That's not a noodle pot.
I had a stove. What were you doing?
That's like
in my room. In my dorm room.
That's not called a noodle pot.
Yeah.
That's called like a hot pad.
Well, it's not a pad. It's like a pot.
Okay, but you can like make many other things other than just noodles in this.
Yeah, but it was,
noodle pot.
you know, the intention was like, here's for your ramen.
Wait,
Welcome
was
to
it?
college. Here's for your ramen.
Are you sure it wasn't an electric teapot?
I mean, you could do that too, but it's big.
No,
It wasn't a teapot. It wasn't teapot shaped. It was like a big, like a pot, like a big pot.
All
It
right.
wasn't a tea. It wasn't a tea kettle shape.
All right.
Pot? Sydney?
No, but like I mainly use it for ramen.
Now, I will credit Mom with this. Before I went to college, she taught me how to make a tofu stir fry, and like it was super good. I had like bok choy and like a ton of vegetables and like soy sauce, and that was like my one trick that I pull out for my college friends. Like, want me to make a tofu stir fry? I'll do that tofu stir fry for you. I can do it.
I will say that's very similar to the one thing I am able to make, which is like stirring just a bunch of vegetables in with like some either noodles or shrimp or something, and it's like put some soy sauce in. It's like there you go.
Oh yeah, to this day, that's like 9 out of 10 meals I cook for myself. It's like, a bunch
Yeah.
of vegetables. Here's some sort of a protein. A noodle, great.
That's much better, I will say, than my like when I went off to cooking on my own. Other than canned soup, which was largely what I ate, I would buy cans of chicken.
Oh God, I remember this.
Like you could buy, it's like canned tuna, except it's chicken because I didn't really
grosser.
like tuna back then.
Somehow less appealing.
It's just canned chicken, not the whole canned. I've seen this on like the Food Network challenge shows where it's like an entire chicken in a can, not like that, like shredded chicken. And then I would put that in a bowl with some steak seasoning. And like it's pre-cooked chicken, you don't have to do anything to it, you can just eat it out of the can. But I would put it in a bowl with some steak seasoning and some crackers.
Like, but mushed up crackers.
What?
Yeah, I would crumble up all the crackers and stir it together, and I would eat that.
Sydney, what are you
was that?
doing?
That's what I ate that. So, like, that was my standard. I don't know. I used to eat that. I had this other meal that I ate where I would dump a can of peas in a bowl, and I would chop up a little bit of onion and put it in there and eat peas and onion.
No, that must be a mom thing, because when I was on the tennis team before practices, she would bring me, like, and that's what I wouldn't really eat at school a lot, but I'd always have practice after school. She'd bring me a bowl of peas, onions, and tuna and cottage cheese, and that was like, this is your protein and your carbs for your tennis practice. And I would eat that every time. Like, I can't perform well if I don't eat this weird bowl of peas.
Guys, that's all so gross.
Sometimes I would throw almonds in with the peas and onions
I was like, I think
for crunch.
I don't know if it was just like my breath that scared most people into like losing against me as a tennis player.
I forfeit.
What
did you eat?
Smell like onions and tuna. Interestingly enough, I just ate onions and tuna.
Isn't that what everybody eats before a big tennis match?
I can proudly say I have never made any of these gross concoctions and tried to eat them.
I went and bought a huge like jumbo jar of pickle chips, like one of the giant drums of pickles, and I would keep that in the fridge, and I would buy like
It's already bad.
I would buy giant packs of cheap lunch meat, and then a huge bottle of mustard, and like because that's all very cheap, and I would make like roll-ups. Like I would take a piece of like turkey and squirt some mustard on it and put pickles and roll it up like a little roll-up there. I ate that a lot.
Bad job.
These are the things I
Sydney.
cooked.
See, I think that like the most like sane eating I've ever done is now that I'm a vegan, just because it's so foreign to me that I had to like read books and like follow other recipes. I'm like, oh, this is a food that I made. Just get me far enough away from food I'm familiar with, and I'll be okay.
That's probably a good idea, because it took me, I mean, Justin's a really good cook, and that is how any of the skills I have came from that. And then of course I learned a lot more about healthy eating a lot through my career and schooling and stuff. Because I was not a healthy eater, and my main concern was eating like low calorie.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is not, obviously that is not necessarily a pathway to, you can eat low calorie and eat healthy, but one does not necessarily mean the other.
Right.
So don't repeat these mistakes.
Yeah. Don't make any of these things that Cindy and Taylor have told you about because they all sound very bad.
Listen, if you're in college and you want a cheap meal, canned chicken, crumbled up,
No,
crumbled
don't
up
do
saltines.
This. Don't listen to my sister.
Crumbled saltines, canned chicken, steak seasoning, like the big old thing of like McCormick steak seasoning. I'm just saying, mix it all together.
I'm disappointed in you and anyone who listens to you.
Really tasty.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Don't eat 6 donuts, but also
do that.
don't just eat a bag of Cheerios.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a thing in between.
There's a middle ground here.
And eat breakfast.
That's how we're ending our episode, by telling you to eat breakfast.
No, I'm telling you to eat breakfast.
Okay,
Riley,
I'll
eat
eat
breakfast. Taylor, do you eat breakfast?
Well, if I wake up early enough. I mean, I'm a bartender, so I tend to sleep a little later, but that's like, I have a box of cereal in my house specifically to get me out of bed. Because if like my 9 o'clock alarm goes off, I'm like, well, I could sleep a little more hours, but if I wake up, I get to eat breakfast food, so it'll get me out of bed.
Hey, that's good though.
Yeah.
Eat breakfast. It's very important. I have come to store my favorite kind of granola bar in my office. So I have no excuse. It's at work. It's right there. I have to grab one.
That probably gets you to
Well-
go to work with a more impetus, right? Like you just, I find that
It
works
actually
for me.
does help to know, I've got my coffee that I enjoy, but I also know that waiting for me in my office, I get these chocolate chili, they're a little spicy and sweet granola bars.
Ooh.
They're really good.
I'd also just like to throw out there for all my other peeps in school, if you're already out for college, you're lucky, but also I only have 2 more Tuesdays left after this one, where this episode will be going up, of my junior year. So
Oh my gosh.
there's that.
Well,
It's
everybody,
almost summer. Everybody go ride those waves and soak up those rays.
Yeah, you're gonna make that stick, huh?
I am. That's my new catchphrase.
TM.
Jeez.
Well, I hope everybody eats breakfast and eats healthier lunches than apparently any of us
Yeah,
did.
any of us did.
Don't steal your friend's fries. Please don't eat bags of Cheerios. Riley, you still are not eating any protein.
That's me.
Get on it. In the meantime, thank you for listening to our show. Thank you for supporting our network, MaximumFun.org. Check it out. There are a lot of other wonderful podcasts that you can listen to. If you want to email us, you can email us at stillbuffering@MaximumFun.org and send us comments or show suggestions, topics, questions, that kind of thing. You can tweet at us at stillbuff, and you can join our Facebook group, Still Buffering, on Facebook.
Yeah.
A very active community there. And thank you to the Novellas for our theme song, Baby You Change Your Mind.
This has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
I am a teenager.
And
And
I
I
was
was
2.
To Tyrannosaurus Nugget.
Tyrannosaurus Nugget is coming to get you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Barbara Gray.
I'm Brandy Posey.
And I'm Tess Barker.
We're Lady to Lady. Do you want to sleep over in your ears?
Is that a friend in your pocket, or are you just podcast to see me?
We're a portable hangout you can bring to the gym, on the subway, or on an oil rig.
Seriously, we have listeners who do that.
Chill with us while we get high with Margaret Cho.
Talk showgirls with Katya from Drag Race.
And hear Broadway star Anthony Rapp sing Hamilton.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
That's Lady to Lady.
Can you keep a secret?
Neither can we.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture. Artist owned.
Listener supported.